Yes released an album called Union in 1991, which incorporated a lot of the current and former members of the band. It was kind of a reunion album. Some members of Yes have told me that it wasn't maybe the most congruent, successful experience. John Anderson said that. Bill Bruford also wasn't that happy with the whole experience. And now Trevor Rabin. He contributed a few songs, which he'll explain in this video clip. But believe it or not, as of today, Trevor Rabin has never listened to the whole album Union. He went on tour, played some of the songs, but only knew the songs he had to play. He's never heard the album. That and more on Rock History Music. The Union tour, what was that like for you? An album?
Union was completely segregated, if you like, thing. Clive Davis, I just don't want to waste any of the time because I know I'm going off in tangents, and stop me if I do. But I had just finished a solo album, Can't Look Away, had toured it, had come home. I think I'm getting the time frame right. And Clive Davis, I get the call, and I've told you the other thing with Clive Davis, but I get the call from Clive. Anderson, Bruford, Wakeman, and Howe, ABWH, are doing a second album. It's fantastic, blah, 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 blah. Wanted to know if you wanted to contribute a song, or, you know, if you have any material lying around it. And I immediately translate that into Clive Davis talk, which is, we need a single with the album's in trouble, you know. I sent him Lift Me Up from Union. He said he loves it. He wants it to be the single. I said, but it's me singing, and you know, it was a song. Chris had come in and been involved in it with me. I think we both part writers in that, and then John wrote some lyrics, and he said, we want this, and I said, well, you know, it's not available just, you know, for that. I don't know if I want to give it away. Maybe I want to do it with the band, meaning Chris and John was gone at that point. So maybe just me, Chris, and Alan, which is pretty much how it had been done. And so then managers, record companies start getting involved, unfortunately, but it led to Union, had nothing to do with the members. Anderson, Bruford, Wakeman, and Howe was an album which Rick and Steve were really annoyed with, because the producer had brought the stuff back to LA and thrown all the guitars and keyboards off and replaced it with session musicians. So it wasn't a happy environment, but they still didn't feel they had singles. So, you know, I contributed Miracle of Life and Lift Me Up, and one other song that John liked that I'd written called Saving My Heart. It was kind of just a throwaway, really, but and those three songs we did, and then we'll do it with John, and then we're going to put this album together. I had nothing to do with the album. In fact, to this day, I haven't heard the whole album. Wow. I mean, that's embarrassing. I shouldn't admit that, but we weren't going to be doing the whole album. I wasn't too thrilled on the album. There were a couple of tracks I liked, and we played one of them and we played Lift Me Up. So it was the fortunate thing about the Union tour is what happened thereafter. Rick and I became really tight, and led to ARW, basically.
You know, my best friend in the 80s was a female. She was a window dresser. She used to call you the good-looking one in Yes.
What's the number?
Yeah. She says, you know, who's the good-looking one? Who's the new guy? Who's that good-looking one?
That's funny.
I used to tell her there's two Trevors, you know, and she goes, what? People, you know, in the beginning, people would get mixed up with that. They go, what? Wasn't he the lead singer before, and now he's the producer? And I'm going, well, yeah, that's what happens. Oh yeah, Oklahoma. Can you tell me a little bit more? That is just the song. What guitar is that? A dobro? What are you playing on that song?
Well, there's a lot of different guitars. The in the softer part, that's basically a Gibson 400 Special, which is one of those big jazzy guitars, like a Joe Passy guitar, because I wanted a big, bold sound, but not a heavy sound. And then the guitar solo is just my Strat.
Okay, someone had a few questions for you. Do you have any technique that has helped you sing over the years?
Singing wise, not really. I mean, I was always one of those guys who just sang on his songs and didn't care if I was the singer or not from a, I guess, ego standpoint. And so, which was borne out by the fact that when John joined, I wasn't, I'm being fired from one of my jobs. I was only too happy and he was so good. So I think, doing this last album, the thing that set me up well for it is we'd been on the road for 3 years, so the muscle was working well. If it's as far as guitars, that's a different thing. But vocally, I had no specific thing of how to prepare for it.
Trevor Rabin's brand new album is called Rio. He hasn't released a vocal album in a gazillion years, but he put a lot of work into this, a lot of great guitars. First, we talked to Trevor on the phone, and then the promotions company said, let's give him another interview. They liked our work, so we got a chance to talk to Trevor on video. And that was just sensational. But he's really proud of this, and he really should be, because there's not a bad track on it, first of all. He gets a little political sometimes, talking about the state of the world, but I highly recommend Rio. Again, links in the description if you want to pick it up. Make sure you comment on our videos. We read all the comments. Share our videos on social media. Subscribe to our channel and like our videos as well. Remember, you can make a donation to our channel. At the very top of the description, there's a PayPal link where you can make a donation, or join our Patreon where you get early access to all our videos. I'm John Bowden. This is Rock History Music. Take good care of yourself.